it's free information that we are getting, it's practical information that we are getting, and it's something that we can easily apply. So we have two brothers with us that will be taking us through, and they have walked different lives. So we will have a test of each, and let's try to understand, and where we do not understand, let's have questions. We shall have a point where we will have questions. If you want to note down something, note it down. If you have a question that you know you will forget, keep it there. If you've been into business and maybe you've hit a wall, these are the right people to ask. So I would like to welcome Brother Joel, please.
Thank you. I'm privileged to be in front of you. I'm Joel Chamwaka from, let me say, the villagest village in the ministry, that is in Sango. I'm happy to be part of the body. I'm standing here not because I'm the most knowledgeable, but because of the grace of God. Today, I'll be able to share the little experience. I may not be that much able to give you the technical words of business, but I'll be sharing the simple experience that I've been going through as I conduct my businesses. But before, allow me to take this opportunity to appreciate the organizing committee that has done a tremendous work to bring us this meeting together, and also under the guidance of Reverend Meme, we so much appreciate. I've been much blessed this weekend with many things. If the time of testimony comes, I will testify because I've been blessed with many things. But straightforward to the topic of the session, which is business. Business is facing the reality in the community, because in business, and if you are part of the body and you've been of the body, mostly under Reverend Meme, indeed we cannot fail to succeed in business, because everything here has been taught. Everything here, every detail has been touched, because there is a time when we were still in the secondary level, and there is a term that was used on germination. That was the types of seed. There is a type of seed which could not germinate. That was seed dormancy. If you are here and you cannot survive, you cannot provide yourself, then you are under that type of seed. Because what I know with that type of seed dormancy, even if you provide every condition for it to germinate, it will not. And here, we are being provided with every technique to survive in every situation. We are really grateful of Reverend Meme, because even this, the men of God are trying to help us in every aspect so that we survive and really push forward. As the man of God was saying, that the future of the body lies in the hands of the youth. Indeed, if we are all poor, how shall we push forward this message? I remember when Reverend Meme visited us in Nsango, he told us that at first when they had received this message, they concentrated much of the message. They loved the truth of the message and ignored the part of finance. But they faced many challenges. And under the guidance of Godwin, they were advised to move to town, because in villages they were not able to survive and push forward the message as the circumstances of the village, and they were not bothered of tampering with the part of finance. So today we are here trying to share the simple techniques that we can use. In a business, the most thing that you have to have is discipline. Discipline. And this is very good for the youth. Because with the youth, even if you have capital or you don't have, you can start a business so long as you are disciplined. If you are disciplined, you can start business by, if you don't have the capital, by being employed by someone. And when you're so that much disciplined, that person will be open to you and will try to show you everything. Try to show you everything that you can be able to run the business even if it's not there. Just like the men of God labored with us to try and teach us, to try and empower us, even if they are not around here. We can still pass and knowledge our younger ones and knowledge the newborns in the ministries. Even in the business community, when you have discipline, money needs discipline. For me, I'm not of a rich family background, but the little discipline that I had, and I didn't do business. I did not do business that I did business at the campus or where. No, I didn't go to the campus as much because I finished senior 6. Then I just did a certificate in IT. My points were very, very good. And my course, the course that I wanted was engineering. But my parents were not able to support me. And also in that line, as still I'm on the business, on that line, the parents should be very sincere to the children, because we always carry big dreams for our children. You may find a parent that is not financially stable, but is dreaming of a child to be a doctor, is dreaming of a child to be a lawyer. Then that parent is not facing the reality of the environment, of what is happening around. Because being a doctor, my brother there knows what he's going through. Being a doctor will need a lot. You try push your children to be a doctor, and you fail on the way. But here, because of the grace of God, you can still survive. Me, after failing joining university, not because I was not qualifying, but because my parents were not able, and they did not get a clear career guidance. Because for me, in my senior 4, I got 28. Then in senior 6, I got 14 points out of 20 in PEM, but I could not join. But because of the grace, I came back in the community. Because of the simple discipline that my family was doing business before, and my parents was involving me in the business, I was able to survive because of the simple discipline. I started with a very minimum capital. I started with mobile money. I started with around 400,000 on just a veranda. But because of the discipline, the relationship the friendship that I made with the people around, I was able to communicate with them, to get support from them. But here, we have many people here who are having opportunities for the children of God to work, but we fear them because they are not disciplined. You bring a child of God near to you, you'll cause problem in the church. Because when you is messing up with the business and you can't handle him well, you can't handle him with force, you see finding yourself in the church, he has messed up the business. And those people with opportunities find themselves fearing the children of God to be supported, because we end up supporting children out of the church in business, because the children of God are failing to be disciplined. Like I was saying, another part in business is time management. When you are in business, you have to commit yourself on that business, to give it time. For us as born again, we can schedule very well, and your client will get to understand that as for Joel, on Sunday he's not there. It will not affect your business. As for Joel, on Wednesday, maybe he's not there. People will know very well that today is a Sunday, Joel will not work. And they will wait for you because you have programmed that. But if you're not disciplined on time management, today, Monday, you have opened a business. Sunday, Tuesday, you have not opened. The client will come hoping to be served by you. And coming on Tuesday, the shop is closed, or the business is not there. Wednesday, you open. Thursday, you're not opening. So whenever you're in need of starting business, you first have study the business and give it time. Make some research, give it time. Schedule your time of business and church. Your client will be well versed and know that on this day, Joel will not work, or brother so and so will not work, and it will not affect, and they will even know the time you go back. Like on Christmas, I did not go to church. I was committed somewhere. But everywhere I was moving, clients were asking me, today you have not gone to church? Because everyone knows, every Christian do take Christmas as a big day. So everywhere they were asking me, as today you have not gone to church, I had to explain myself. So even if you open on the day of church, you may find that you are not finding business because you have already programmed. Because some people fear that how can we handle business and we are committed to church? Once you schedule and your client knows well that on this date you will not be there, it will not conflict with your business. It will not affect your business in any way or the other. The other thing is that making research on where to put the business. Some children of God always want to be in town. They always prefer to start business in town. But town has many challenges. As in town, the capital will be needed. They will need much capital to start a business in town. And yet in the village, and we of the body, we are privileged that many assemblies are all over Uganda. If you are of Mbale and your single capital is very little, the business cannot survive in Mbale. Make some research of other assemblies. Let's say in Soroti, or Nsango, or Palisa, even Iganga. Let's say you want to start your restaurant, but a restaurant in Mbale may need like 40 million, 30 million. As a youth, how are you going to raise that capital to start a restaurant in Mbale? And yet if you have started the market, let's say in Namaingo, in Insango, you may find that the same restaurant that you need 20 million or 80 million can start that business. But because for you, your mind is set in town, you think you cannot work out of town. We are privileged that we have many assemblies. So as you start the business, make a research on the capital you have, on the business you want to start. And here we are privileged that we have network all over Uganda. If you are in produce, you can communicate to the brothers in Soroti and inquire the prices. You can communicate to the brothers in Kampala and inquire the prices. You will find that you can easily buy, let's say, beans from Palisa and take to Soroti. But because our minds as youth are staged in one place, we are not making research. It makes our life very hard to survive or to start businesses, because we are not making enough research on how to start business. Any other thing, as of young children, we always want to start big. We always want to start big. And whenever a business is starting big, it is very easy for that business to fail. Because when you make a loss, it will be a bigger loss, which you will not be able to sustain. When you start business small, and this is easier for the youth, because as of the youth, you will be not having much responsibility. You will be free even to be away from home for a while. Let's say you are born of Soroti and you're doing business in Parisa. You're just a youth. You're not even married. You can stay in Parisa for even 2 years when you're concentrating on your business as well, fellowshipping in the Parisa assembly. But we always want to stay near our friend. We always want to stay in a comfortable zones. And as of late, as people are getting more educated, they are getting challenges to start business. As people are getting more educated, they are getting more challenges to start business. Let's assume I was able to go to campus for engineering. I take there my 4 years or 5 years. I graduate. Will I be able to start mobile money with 400 on the veranda? Not. I will not be able to start that, because I'll be minimizing. How can a degree graduate sit in an umbrella to sell airtime? So we always raise our standards before even the standards raise. We always raise our standards before even our standards get raised. So as to the brothers who are more educated, please, let's first face the reality. When the job arises, then your standard will be there. But if you have not gotten the job yet, feel free. Feel free to do anything. Because you never know, you may find out that by the time you get even the job, you're not willing. By the time they have advertised what you graduated for, you're not willing. Me, before my business boomed, I first applied with NIRA. Immediately after taking my IT certificate, I applied with NIRA to register the national ID back then in 2014, 2015. I succeeded because it is NIRA that took me to Namaingo. Before, I was staying in Bujiri and Iganga. So I applied in Bujiri and also in Namaingo. I sat the interviews in the 2 districts. I succeeded in Namaingo. When I succeeded there, I had to work in Namaingo, but it was a contract of 9 months. Again, they renewed more 3 months. After that, the contract expired. I had to find other ways of surviving. But since I had taken a full year in Namaingo, I'd seen the opportunities. So I had to start business in Namaingo. And when I started business in Namaingo, as I told you, I started law. And I'd made friendship with the people of Electoral Commission, because by then, NIRA was working together with the Electoral Commission. So when they started advertising, they wanted the people who could do election, being officers like for election. By the time they advertised that, and my big bosses were like, Joel, you come and apply. I was not willing, because by that time, at my mobile money, I was able to get 800,000 per month, and I was able to get the daily income to sustain myself. I could see the other one as wasting time. So, graduates, before you take your jobs, feel free to start with anything. You never know, by the time even your job arises, you are not even willing to take the job. And here, as children of God, we've learned we have to serve God. And there are also challenges with civil servants on serving God, mostly in the body of Christ. Because civil servants, you are eligible of serving anywhere. You will not tell them, don't take me to Jinja. There is no our church. There is no gospel assembly. You are a civil servant. You are eligible to serve anywhere in Uganda. But with business, you can take research where our churches are and do business near the church, as well as serving God. As for now, allow me to end there and give chance to my colleague here also to air up something. Thank you.
I don't know where to begin from and where to end. It is raining, but I want you to hear. Don't cover your ears. All of us need money. Whether you're a Christian, born again, not born again, you need money. And my work this evening is to tell you how to make money. I'm only requesting for fewer things. If you are ready to make money, be determined and be doers. We have done a lot of theory on money. We, the youth, we already know the scriptures that tell us that we should not despise ourselves. But I'm seeing most of the youth, you don't want to work. How are you going to get money? Your parents. The parents are also poor. They have sacrificed enough from your childhood. You make 18 years, you still come back. You want the parent to buy everything. When you are not alone in the home, you are many. But you say, me, even my parents don't want me. My parents don't want me. They have not bought this for me. They have not bought. Parents nowadays, we are also very busy. Instead of advising these ones, we are looking for money and we are keeping them with money. Money, 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 money. Talk to your children as they grow. Have fellowship with your children. Have the discipline he has talked about with the money, and you make money. Scriptures that go with making money. We have the Deuteronomy 8:18. It's God who gives the riches. He gives us wealth, but we don't know where the wealth is coming from. The capital he's talking about is the capital that the Lord has put in you. You have many talents you are seated on. You don't utilize. You can use that one to get money. Other people just create songs and they get money. Creating songs, sitting and creating songs, and they get money. If this artist can sell those songs, how much money can he get? A lot. Many of us, there's nobody who will tell me that the Lord has not blessed me with any talent. But we are seated on the talents. We are not making any money. Want money to come like it used to come. When the children of God were moving the promised land, it was coming from up. That one was cut off. It's not there now. You have to work to get money. Making money is very easy, but we despise the ways to make money. Especially our youth, you younger youth. Whatever your parents have given you is capital. We have many youth who are idle, who even dodge work. They don't want to do anything. You forgive me if I've spoken lies, but I know. When we were growing up, they used to teach us to make handwork, but handwork has been put aside. Nowadays, they don't teach it even in schools. They wait until you go for home economics. At a higher level, a child has grown from age 1 to perhaps 14. He cannot do anything. Even washing plates, he doesn't want. The parent is, after preparing, he goes, any cooking, he cannot cook an egg. So, you are the youth, but you cannot even prepare anything. I'm sorry. But
as we get to the questions, I just have questions for our panelists today. I'll start with Brother Joel. Brother Joel, I noticed that you had a career switch from ICT to doing business. Maybe share more of the insight for people to get to know about, like, to really understand more on the career switch, because many of the graduates or people in school always have this fixated mind of, yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a pilot. I would want you to break down more on the career switch in about a minute or so that someone that is in secondary, in high school, gets to know that, you can, be in high school, but you can still do something else as you're studying. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, brother. On the question specifically, you see, with education, this was a system set, and it was set for people to serve in the offices. And what is on our mind is when I graduate as such and so, I'll be employed and get money. What we should know, we are after money, be it on your career, be it in the business. But in the business, if you want more money, business is the best. Because with the career, your money is limited. They can say in Uganda, a doctor cannot earn more than 20 million, they say, a month. But in business, your income is not limited. You can even get that 20 million in one day. What we should first do is open our mind, is that we are after money. We are not after the career. We are after the money. And people say, time is money. Indeed, in business, time is money. What people in business do, they manipulate others, buy their time. I buy Brother Achilles' time. Brother Achilles works for me. As he's getting the limited income I stipulated, me, I'm getting the unlimited income from Brother Achilles. Let's say I can be at school. By the time I leave school, I'm 35. I'm there struggling. Time for marrying is there in between. Struggle to get a wife. By the time I finish the struggle, I'm 40 years. I'm now concentrating, say I've graduated, concentrating on what I graduated with. I'm 40 years. I have like 20 years of active. I've taken a course which will be earning me 1 million per month. Luckily, I got in that job. In 20 years, you can calculate 1 million per month, 12 months, that is 12 million, times 20, is around 240 million if you've been working. But in business, I can get 240 million in 1 month. So, what we have to open our mind, be it our career, be it in business, we are after money. We are after money. Business people manipulate other people's time. Me, as I talk now, I have more than 30 employees. I'm paying them well. I can spend like 15 million on salary 1 month. But what they work, me, I've bought their time. I'm here, but I've bought their time. They are working for me. Me, I can be here for a month. I'm able to pay them, like spend 20 million to pay them. Then I get 80 million. But for you, you are concentrated on your career. And on the career, the salary is limited. You're a doctor, you have to get 5 million. On 5 million, the whole clan knows what you earn. Before you get it, your grandmother is sick, your uncle is sick, the stepmom is sick, the other one is sick. Everyone knows your income. Because you will celebrate, I've gotten the job. But me, when I set up a business, my dad may not know. I give on my will. Not, because in Africa, the parents have a tendency that we must support them. They invest in us, and they have a tendency that we must support them. And we have a chain of expenditure, endless expenditure. We have a chain of expenditure. So if you're on a career, your salary is known, the whole church, the whole clan, the whole family. I'm not saying that the church knowing your salary is not bad. But every friend will know tomorrow, this week actually is getting the salary. Then you will start receiving calls. But me, even if I'm here, no one will know when I've made profit. I will give on my own. So, as you are on career, the target is money. And in business, they buy your time to work for them. Because me, I'm 33. I'm 33 years. But if I'm able to buy like 40 people's time to work for me, this means if 40 people work for 20 years, how many years I've lived in working as a single person? But for you, you're working unlimited. You will work for 20. Like now my brother is retired. He will again go to the stages he skipped of starting businesses. Because they bought his time. He now can't work strong. He can't do strong work. And yet he has to work. So the target is money. The target is not the career. So long as you're getting me, they called me in Nira to work. But I saw they were paying 1 million. And by then my business could give me 3 million. I could not leave back my 3 million and go and work for 1 million. So the target, my brother, is money. It's not the career.
All right, thank you so much. We have questions coming in from the people watching online. Maybe let's get a question, then I'll ask again.
Sorry. So we have a question that's coming from the online community. They say, thanks for the session. I would like to ask, I am a youth and I have the zeal to work, but I feel I'm too young to achieve things. Like, give me a reason. Why do I need to save and work while young? Thank you. The question is, thanks for that session. I would like to ask, I am a youth and I have the zeal, but I feel I'm too young to achieve anything. Give me a reason why I need to save and work while I'm young. Thank you.
The reason why we should work while he's young.
Is what? Time management. Start when you are young so that it is easy for you. Don't minimize yourself saying, me, I'm young, I cannot do anything. God is interested in using the youth. He used David, he used Joseph, he used those Meshach, Abednego, and that, all those who are youth. So never call yourself young to get money. He's almost half of my age. But what is earning is twice more than I earned in the gun. They were tossing me up and down because I couldn't make. Now I'm beginning from where he began from. If I had left the other gun and started on when I was still strong, now they are throwing at me because I'm very old. They want young ones to work. It is the youth who can make money. It's the youth who can change the situation because they have the strength. Utilize that strength other than, I'm young. That means you are disparaging yourself. Mwenyoma. God bless you.
Maybe also, before you sit, maybe you add on, you talked about the experience of the pickup saving when you were selling sambosas. Throw more light on saving with a purpose, because you had a purpose, that's why you had to make the money. Yeah. Maybe share with us more on saving with a purpose.
Okay. If you are going to open up business, and that business has to last, you must have a vision of your business. You must also do the research for the business. And you must also study the competitors of that business so that you can succeed. If you want your business to survive, do the tithing. God bless you.
All right. Hand clap for him. Thank you. Brother Joel, I'm going to come back to you again. You're a strong member of the church. You support the church in Sango. And I would want you to share with us, the youth, how do you handle saving, tithe? How do you balance saving and tithes? Because we young people make the money, but we rarely give in the tithe. We rarely give in what belongs to God. How do you handle that? Since you're a businessman, many of them would want to go and do business, but they don't have the art of giving tithe. They may make the money, go out and make the money and enjoy the money. But how do you handle that, the giving of the tithe? Thank you.
Thank you. That's a challenging question because I'm not also that perfect on tithes. I pray to God that I perfect, but I try. I know we of body, we are well trained how to pay tithes. Because tithes is on the profit. Tithes is on the profit. When you get like say 10,000, you have to remove the 1K for the tithes. If the profit is 10,000, you remove the tithe. If you want to save like say 4,000, then you add the 5,000 in the business. So tithes cannot conflict with the saving, because tithes is clear. After getting your profit, remove the tithes, and what you have is what you can see. You're saving the whole profit, but as the business grows, you have to keep adding capital in the business. Because I will talk personally to me. When I started with like 400,000 on the mobile money, when I get commission of 100, I had to increase in the capital, to just add in the capital. Because I've opened today, I will get like 2 clients. As I keep opening, the client will increase. The first day, the 400 may be enough. But as time goes by, it will need like 1 million. So as for the business, cash is what makes business. So having cash, the mistake we make as youth, we want to skip steps. Let's say my business, even me, I one time made that mistake. And my business was almost drying up. Because when I made money, I was like, started 400. When I reached like 6 million, I had to buy a plot. I also felt I have to possess some assets. But I'm not saying buying a plot is bad, but the timing of getting assets. Because now, the business started with 400. It's now having 6 million, which means the clients have increased. I have many clients to serve, and the 6 million has been doing better to serve the clients. Then I get a plot of 4 million. I'm chopping on the capital. I'm going back to 2 million. 2 million will not be able to serve the clients that the 6 million has been serving. Then the business will struggle, and you will give chance to the opponents. Because in business, there is competition, healthy competition. Because competition brings quality. You're ever looking how better. The small detail you can add, how better. Like me, I started mobile money. I had to see how better. I had to face the telecom companies to start registering SIM cards. There, I was the first person to start registering SIM cards in Namaingo, leaving the telecom companies themselves, like the shops of Tank Telecom and the others, Airtel. I was the first individual person to start registering SIM cards in Namaingo. That was an innovation, because Tank Telecom could not beat me, because they were employees. they can talk the way they want. But me, it was my personal business. I could do, the way I talk could matter. And I knew what I want. So I could attract many clients. So when you're doing business, timing or pulling out capital to invest in other things matters. But also saving is very good. Because it will, when the way you think when you're having 1 million in your pocket is not the way you think when you're having 10 million in the pocket. In business, age will not matter. Money, when you have money, then you're mature enough in business. When you have money, you're mature in business. So, the way you think when you have 1 million is not the way you think when you have 10 million. So, accumulating capital is the best way in business, not rushing to do the investment. Thank you.
Let me add on. He has talked that age does not matter. Whatever age you get is the age that will make you get investment. Most of the Indians, when they come here, they trade with their children. From childhood, the children also, they have contribution. When it comes to us Africans, we want our children, after failure in whatever career they have gone, is when we bring them here on board to start saying, he has a lot of needs he wants to solve. He is going to just swap the business and the business will collapse. God bless you.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much, Brother Joel. And then, sir, I didn't hear your name, but I appreciate what you've said. I've picked just a few points that I wanted to ask you to clarify on them. I've been inspired by your story, Brother Joel, and I like looking up to business people like you. I'm also not the kind of person who likes sitting in an office and then being there and someone pays you after 30 days. You can imagine after a whole year, a year has 365 days and you're being paid only 12 times. It's very funny. You know, when you earn every day, it's good. And that's why I like the fact that you've inspired us to do business. So, I just wanted to ask a very few questions. The first one is, you know, business, what you say, discipline, and then the timekeeping. I picked a very crucial point on discipline. How do you live your life every day, like your daily routine? How do you manage to save that money? Because, you know, being young people, like me, I'm a student, and there's a lot of needs I have. I can do business, and then I would give you a story of recent. I was dealing with some friend of mine. We're actually selling onion. We would make the money would come, but I didn't realize, up to now, I still sit down and I'm like, but where was this money going? So I want to know, like, for you being a successful businessman and I've gotten access to you, how do you live your life? Like, what expenditures do you cut? What do you prioritize before you spend the money after you've gotten the profits? And then also, being a student, I did that business and I realized it was taking a lot of my time, yeah? So I wanted to find out, like you said, mobile money, yeah, that's good, but now mobile money, I need to sit and work like throughout the whole day, and then also maybe employing someone, I'm not so sure. What kind of idea would you give me as a student to invest? Let's say I have about 500 or 1 million, what can I put it on? You know, that kind of thing. Then also I wanted to ask parents, I grew up from a family, okay, they're not so successful, but mommy, she does these things of office, you know, and then it's my dad who kind of like does business, but I don't like the fact that they don't teach us to do business from when we are young. They keep us on this kind of mindset of studying, and you know, studying, okay, it's good, but it doesn't give you money every day. You're giving a service to someone. Like you said, you bought off about 30 lives. You know, you've employed 30 people. And these are people working for you. And that's the kind of thing for us who are at school are going to do. So I wanted you to maybe talk to our parents and ask them to advise their kids in via business. Like, how can they teach children to do business from when they are young? By the time when they grow up, they are at least able to do business. Then my last question is, what would you advise in saving? Like saving in a bank or a circle. You know, nowadays there's rampage on circles. There are so many circles. So for you as a successful business person, what would you advise me who wants to try business when I get my profits? Where should I save them on? Should I take my money to the bank or I keep it in a circle? Because at some point, I love the games of loans. You know, in business, it teaches you to do the loans game. So I wanted you to give us more insight, like which one can I access a loan easily to boost my business and that kind of stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Starting with the first question, how do I spend my day? Or how did I limit my expenditures I use to accumulate capital? Firstly, when the business has just started, be it has small capital or that much capital, it will need your time as the vision bearer of that business. So, that privileges us as the youth. We don't have much to do. When you start up a business, my soul is inclined on mobile money. I'm not saying everyone should pass through mobile money. Every business, as long as it can give profit and it's not illegal and contradict with like us believers and is giving profit, you can start with that. But for the start, as a vision bearer, you have to do what you feel. You have to start a business, what you feel is at your heart. The business that cannot shame you. The business that you love and give time. Me, I was in that mobile money for like 4 years without employing anyone. I was there, I could work every day from morning to evening. That is the discipline and giving it time as the vision bearer. Because you, as the owner of the business, you are the one who knows what your business should be doing, what your targets are. You give it time. Me, I was getting seated in one seat for almost the whole year. Without me as personal, I've never gone to Kadongo. And so I'm not a person of spending. I was addicted to football. But as I was added to the body by the grace, with time, I've been chopping the addiction, slowly by slowly. My addiction was on football. But even though I was addicted on football, Premier League, I could not close my shop for Premier League. I was there, I could time myself by 7, the shop is open. And since I love that shop most, I even risked. Because mobile money, you deal with money. Every person that is moving along is looking for money. And working with money is very slippery. Because what the other one is waiting for his plants to grow for the 4 months to get money, for you having money at hand every second. So you have to be much disciplined with that money. I was there from morning to evening. I even risked, because of the much love I had for my business. By the time I started mobile money in Amaingo, mobile monies could close by 6. Actually, they were closing at 5 because it was Tan Telecom having, and some few individuals, but they were closing by 5. But because of I love the shop much, I'm the one who introduced of people working even up to 9. I could work past they say their closing time, and I could extend up to 9. So as the other shops were closed, me I had opened. So client could come to know my place. So with time I had adjusted, because the shop was popular, I had adjusted to 7 again, closing at 7. But the point is giving the business time. You're the vision bearer. If anything you're doing, you're the vision bearer. You should not put there any employee until you understand every corner where you can get shortage, where you can make losses, is when. And when the business has picked up, in that even the employee picks, let's say 20,000 daily, the shop is able to survive. But you've just started with your 1 million. Because you have seen Joel is surviving in mobile money, and you are a civil servant, you say, let me put there my mobile money, I take there my relative. You get your 2 million, over 3 months, you start up mobile money. For your employee their side, you're taking there a relative to stay in the shop. He's not bothered, doesn't know where you get that capital. So this one privileges us, the youth, that we have time. We have to spend to love what we start up. The second question was on saving. How have I managed to save? Saving with the circles, saving with the banks. Any is good, but there are points to first note down. So long as the place where you're saving is reliable, is accessible anytime, can you access your money? Because I know some people do save on fixed account and set limits, but you can start saving on a fixed account on a bank that is not reliable. After 3 years, the bank is not existing. And for you, you said 5 years, you're saving for 5 years. You have so far saved for 3 years. Let's say, you will know some of the bank that have, even the circles in our localities, the manager just disappears. So you have to value your money. At least put on a reliable bank and also accessible bank. You're saving 10,000, but you're traveling from Budaka coming to save in Mbale because you're saving with the DFCU, and the DFCU is not in Budaka. You have to put in transport to come to Mbale to save your 10,000. So there are points that you have to first note down. Is the bank saving with accessible? Can I access it easily? Is it reliable? Then you start saving with it. You can remind me of the other question. You said guiding the parents. The parents, with the parent, we respect them so much. And we find it, like me, I find it difficult, like I'm guiding the parent. But what I can say with the parent, we should not let the children feel themselves. Let the parent not force on children their dreams. Because for you, you failed, you wanted to be a doctor, and you failed because of something. But now you have a kid, he must be a doctor. Because your grandmother died because the doctor didn't attend to him or to her. Now you want your son to attend to every patient. Your son will not be everywhere. Let the children feel and support on what they feel. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So a quick one here. We had a question come in. It says, sometimes you can save and then uncertainty comes and takes it all. What could be other ways of accumulating money other than saving? So if you're going to accumulate wealth, we've been taught in church, if you're going to accumulate wealth, there are biblical methods of wealth. Okay? If you either inherit it, you get it by inheritance, or if you marry into it, or if you work for it. Now, most of us are going to work for it. So there are 3 steps, other than the time if you indulge in extra biblical activities. But you either, what you have to do is work, save, and invest. If your money is tied down in a business, it's hard for you to access it. So if you work in order to earn, you save in order to open up a business, and invest in order to what? To gain wealth. So you have to invest wisely. Do these 3 things and nothing will be able to stop you. Now we have questions from the online community. They're saying, what's the best way to keep track of money in a business, both the capital and the profits?
All right. Thank you. The question was the best way of how to track the money in the business. Oh, yes. In my business, I may not be well much knowledgeable in other businesses, but on my business, the business so far I'm doing, it's very easy for me. Like I'm doing mobile money, agency banking, it's all mobile money. Agency banking is all mobile money. For us in that area, if I have capital of 2 million and I've left the shop with my brother, actually, I've left him the shop with 2 million. When I've gone, even if I'm not there, he balance either that either the money is on float or is in cash. So at the end of the day, because mobile money is the easiest thing to balance. Mobile money is the easiest thing to balance. With these other businesses, let's say you have a wholesale shop. When I leave my brother with the wholesale shop, when I come back, I cannot count every item that I left in the shop. It is very difficult. I have to take time and analyze the way the things are getting over and how much I have. Or they keep noting whatever they sell. But if brother is not trustworthy, can skip writing something and yet he has sold. But in mobile money, the money is either on cash or on float. So if I leave him with the phone, I can just ask him, how much do you have as float? He will tell me I have 500. Then automatically at cash, he must be having 1.5. So in that business, it's very easy to balance. But these other businesses, I don't know, I don't have much experience. Then in these other, like I've ventured in gold. There is gold mining, gold processing. Gold has boomed in our district. We thank God. There, some other business, we track our money on the profit that we are getting. Because you can buy a machine, like some amount of money, then you have the estimate that every month this machine will be getting profit of this amount of money. So we track on the profit that we are getting. If I bought the machine expecting like 100,000 every week, and I'm getting like 120 in the area, I just know I'm on the right track. If I bought and I'm expecting 100 per week and I'm getting 20,000, then I just know there is something wrong that is going on. I have to make more research. What should I put right to meet my expectation? Before I bought that machine, I had made a research that a week this machine will be getting me such and such amount of money, but I'm getting less. What's going wrong? So personally, in my business, that's how I track my capital or my money in the business.
It's very difficult to succeed in business if you cannot trust other people. The people you trust come a period when they become thieves, trying to siphon the money out. That one has made many of us who have tried business from the initial, because I was an employee. I gave my brothers to do the trade. The trade collapsed. I do this. In people who are saying having a career is bad, it's also good to have a career. Because my career, I've been having fall downs and waking up, fall downs and waking up. But in my career, I was able at least to achieve something, targeting that my month, I'm going to get that 1 million, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And for parents, if you want to invest in your children and your income is small and you are employed, you better open up an account for that child when he's still young, so that as he grows, you have accumulated some money for that person. And you start small so that you can reach the extent of buying treasury bills. It's only in treasury bills and bonds that we can get what? Assurance of our money. Even if they take over this government, the next government can still pay you. So that business of treasury bonds and treasury bills can help us invest our money. There's little profit on it, but you are at least assured you are not going to make losses, you are going to make some profit. May God bless you. I trust Christians would be the best, and even the Bible has written, we are supposed to be on the top. We are supposed to be heads everywhere, but we prefer to be tails. This evening, I'm telling you, you can be a head and you can live a better life when you know. It is even easier to calculate my tithe because I know if I'm getting 1 million, I'm going to give tithe. I will not be stealing God. Some of us have failed because we don't want to pay tithe. When the money is growing, you don't want to pay tithe. You end up now encroaching on God's money. May God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, Brother Steve. Maybe this last one, Brother Steve, before you sit. One coming in from online, a question coming in from online. There is someone asking here, you kindly provide some tips for early retirement.
What?
Tips for early retirement.
So it's okay.
Like some tips, someone is asking, kindly provide some tips for early retirement and life after retirement.
Life. Okay. When I was working for my government. But at the same time, the government was also paying me. So indirectly, I was also working for myself. Now, the time I was giving most of my time to the government where I was being paid. But now, it is time for me to make my own money. I have the time because time is money. If you don't give time to your business, that business is going to fail. I have now the animals because I bought them when I was still working. I have the goats, I have the cows, I have the chicken. And I had the turkeys, but unfortunately, they were poisoned. I made loss on turkeys. I'm not saying you are going to make loss on turkeys, but if it is your business, you try to revive it and see what has made us fail in the other season. Now, what can I do so that I can overcome this? I've again gone back to that business of turkey because I knew it was a good business. Whenever I have a problem, sell that cow. The children goes to school. I will not say now, I don't have, and there is nothing I can sell. You can at least have something to sell. A problem is there. My sister wants to be operated. I have goats, I can sell 2, 3. They go and operate her. I'm doing my work and I'm also helping all these people. That's the purpose of working. The purpose of working is not to be a miser, that all your money, nobody should know. No. If they know, let them know. Even God knows that you get this much money. So don't cheat God. You'll be blessed ever and ever. May God bless you.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The Bible says at the rightful time, Sarah will have a child. My name is Kodemugis George. I'm very happy to be part of the youth gathering. And I'm also happy for having partaken onto the package. And above all, the message about business and money. I've just stood to appreciate the endeavor you have struggled to explain this. As young Ugandans, and we have, yes, this is the message. We have to look for money. However, I'm not a business person, but I'm happy to have business persons and encouragement. But as young children of tomorrow, and that we are in church, me, I'm a teacher, I earn little. But I wanted to say, you say that seek ye the Lord, and the rest shall be added unto you. I'm very happy we are in church, and we are seeking God, and we have gotten God. Now, the message is that money is supposed to be part of us. I've also heard that work isn't a curse. As a teacher, they also changed the curriculum from old now to new, where we have been looking at sitting in the office, writing and whatever. They are now encouraging skills. So when I hear about making money, those are all skills. I wanted to applaud and say thank you for the message. Thank you for the packaging. It is timely. May God bless you.
Teachers are not poor. You have heard over the radio, eh? Teachers are not poor. You have a lot of knowledge, and you can utilize that knowledge to multiply even your salary. I have teachers have been taking my children to school, but they were teaching in more than one school. He teaches in 3 schools where he goes. One of them is it was a teacher from Mbale here called Wanatos. He wrote a lot of books on history, and you don't know how much money he got. There's a teacher who only wrote pamphlets, and he got a lot of money out of pamphlets to the extent that he made his own school. So don't despise the work of teachers. The teachers are poor. No, you are not poor. God is making you rich if you only listen to the principles of God. May God bless you.
Well, praise God. Pardon me, my voice had to change when we were praying. But I would like to appreciate the leadership of this church. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. So there is a lot of prudence I've seen in the ministry here in the body of Christ. There is an evil that is being dealt with here in our midst. And I'm so thankful for Brother Meme and Sister Meme for organizing such a meeting where a lot of information is being passed on to us. I was listening to the Nsango meeting where Brother Meme stood up and really showed us how we needed money. And personally, I picked interest in money. And when he was speaking, he quoted a scripture somewhere, I think it was in James chapter 1 and verses 27, that spoke about pure religion. Okay. Anyway, so pure religion and undefiled before God was to visit the poor, and he said, we are not doing that, and we've heard that young people, we don't want to work, we are lazy. Anyway, let me to cut the long story short, I would like to ask the concerned personnel to help, some of us are studying. And before we get what we are pursuing, I would like us to be informed of the things we can do. I've heard about chicken, I think poultry, agriculture, and the rest. So I'd like us to, maybe personally, to be helped, to have my mind broadened in the different areas where as a young person, I can be doing this when I'm doing the other one. To see that, because our church needs money. Usually we have young assemblies, we need instruments, we need things to buy, so we need to work. So personally, I thought maybe if that can be done, it would benefit me. Thank you very much.
So the question is, the youth want a few examples of business ideas that they can start with. Should they start with mobile money like you did? Should they start with poultry? They just want a few ideas that are easy to start and easily to run with. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that point I hinted it on. I hinted on it earlier that it will not be better for me to dictate on what you should start with, because every area is privileged differently. Because me, I may dictate according to Namaing or what is demanded, what is in need there, but it's different in Soroti. So me, I would advise, because in business, is offering service. You find out what can you offer in your convenient area. What can you offer in the area you're residing in? Even if some people are offering, do you have any ingredient you can add in it and yours look unique or feel unique? So it is a homework for every youth to make a research wherever they are residing. What can you offer for you to give service and get money? As of me, mobile money, lately, it's very challenging because the commission is very little. The commission is very little. The one we were getting before, there were no taxes. So it is very hard as of now. You have to be very much disciplined and committed there by yourself to thrive. The commission is very little and it needs much capital. Me then, 400 could start, moreover in town, in the town council, the trading center where we're having more people. But right now, 400 cannot start. Even a million cannot start, at least 3. And it needs much commitment. You should not put there your bills on that has just started. You can start with 3 million and you're getting 150 a month and you've made a cash shortage of 100 already. And by closure of the day, you started with 3 million, you're balancing, you have 2.9. In a single day, you have made a shortage of 100. If you're not careful, by the month elapses, you've made another shortage. And again, at the end, they are paying you 200. So as of now, mobile money is very challenging to start. But when you're very disciplined and committed, and there you've surveyed the area, it is strategic for that. Still, there are people are starting, but not the other main of 100, the capital, at least a bit higher, and you have to be there. If you are still at school, at least find a project that you can put at home, and your relative or your parent can supervise, help you to supervise. But in business, outside, starting business, you have to do what you feel at heart and be committed. I cannot dictate that you start with this or the other. It's a homework. Make a research. What's missing in your area? What can you offer as a person so that you harvest the profit? Thank you.
You start a business that you love most. You don't start the business that somebody has succeeded in and your heart is not there. Begin with what you love most. Because if you have passion for that business, you'll do well. Me, I have passion to look after animals. And I started looking after those animals when I was still working, because I had the passion of looking after goats. If you don't have the passion for looking after goats, then don't step there. Do the business that will help you. And it's better to start early other than starting very late, because there is also competition. In every business, there is competition. Don't underestimate the competitors. And be innovative in your business so that you can out-compete the other people. One bad thing that has let all Christians down is lack of trust. We even steal God's money. And you say, how do you steal? Malachi. We do the business, but we don't want to involve God in our business. We are saying, we are going ahead. We are the ones who are supposed to be on top. We are supposed to be on top. But somebody else has taken our position, because for them, they tithe to their gods. The Indians have their gods, they tithe to their gods, and their gods are releasing money to them. But for you, it's not the way you should do your business. Trust is not even in God's children. It's not there. One time I went to a Christian community looking for workers. These are just, I wanted the shepherds to look after my goats, to look after my chicken, to look after my even farm. Those who can dig, physically, those who can dig. I got only one person. And that one person is also on and off. He's now the monopolist. So you can see what is killing our business. And if you know you can manage that business and you have home support, you can do it. Begin it early, because we need money. By the way, we need Christians to get more committed with Christianity. Christianity involves money. Without money, we will not be comfortable here. Even here, we need to eat. How do you eat? We need to put on smartly. You cannot put on smartly when you don't have.
Okay, thank you. I'd just like to, maybe can we just give a round of applause for our panelists here. And like everything, every is that one? Every good thing comes to an end. And I'm just here to give guidance. Yeah. Yes, so I'm just here to give guidance on the next. And I know there are still so many questions that we can pick up. So 2 things I'll say about the questions. Those of you that are able to join the online discussions, please post as many questions as possible, and then we will answer them in the chat. And then if you have any other questions, feel free to directly contact the panelists and we can discuss that. But just before I close, I wanted to just give, in 1 minute, give my opinion on one of the questions somebody asked about how do you develop the discipline to serve, okay? I remember a couple of months ago in Kampala Assembly, Brother Meme declared a war on poverty. And one of the things that he did to us as a church was give us financial literacy, you know? One of the things that we lack as people is the aspect of financial literacy. And I'll just, in 1 minute, probably just hint on savings. Someone asked that, how do you develop discipline to save? The financial experts will tell you that before you start saving money, okay, you need to first establish an emergency fund. Because someone said you will save money and then there is going to be an emergency coming up and then you're forced to go and get that money. But the financial experts advise that before you start anything to do with saving, okay, first secure an emergency fund. And they say that emergency fund, estimate your living expenses per month, okay? You your expenses, the rent, the water, the transport, the food, like your main expenses. Now, get a figure monthly for that. Now, before you start saving, build that figure to about 6 months. If you can stretch to 1 year, that is your emergency fund. Lock it up somewhere in an account. The next thing I'll say is don't just leave that money in an account and it's losing value. Have you all heard of something called inflation? Inflation is real. Let me just quickly paint a picture to you. If you saved 1 million right now in a bank account, the Bank of Uganda has declared this financial year that the inflation rate in Uganda is 4%. Okay? So mathematicians, if I left 1 million in one account, in my account right now, and just let it sit there for this year, at the end of the year, my money would have lost value by 4%. How much is that? 40,000 shillings. So at the end of 1 year, my money would have lost value by 40,000 shillings. And it's worse because the inflation rate goes up. Now, that number is exponential. 1 million might seem small, but if you have 10 million, you're losing 400,000 shillings. So how would you beat that? How would you counter that? Now, one of the things that the bankers, I don't know if they're bankers here, but there are products in the market, in the banks, that banks will never tell you about. And I used some of them myself. It's been a while now. I do not just keep my money in a bank account because I know how it's losing value to inflation. But I mean, time would fail me. But has any of you heard about unit trusts? You can save your money in a bank. It's your money, okay? The bank will invest it and give you a percentage return. Currently, it's fluctuating between 10% and 14%, okay? So what the smart people will do is, instead of having my money in a fixed account, I will save with a bank, but use a financial product that is going to help my money beat inflation. But also just look at this. The inflation rate is 10%. A bank will give me 12% interest if I do a unit trust. So do the math. If the inflation is 12%, 4%, and I decide to save my money in a unit trust with a bank, I am already beating inflation, because even if there is inflation, I still have a safety net of, what's 12 minus 4? Of 8%. So, I mean, financial literacy is a whole wide topic I can't cover right now, but probably if we get time, God willing, we'll talk about it. But, you know, one of the things that, especially if you want to start saving, you need to be able to save and protect your money from losing value. Thank you so much. If there are questions, we'll probably discuss this later on, but I'm just going to give guidance on the rest of the program. We've had an adjustment on our program. Ideally, we should have had supper, but I think there's going to be a little bit of delay in the kitchen. So what we're going to do is quickly rearrange this place. We'll have a service and then do the supper, okay? So I just like to ask that we rise up, maybe close this session, and then let's quickly rearrange this place back to a service setting. And then at about maybe 7:45, we'll start the service. So let's quickly move so we can have the service started, and then we'll end it early so we can have supper, okay? Thank you. So let's rise up and rearrange this place.